Am I here? Am I on?
Hey.
Hello,
Hi,
Kelsey.
how's it going?
Hello. You made it.
I made it. How's it going, y'all?
It is going okay. Hello from Boston. I'm Karson. This is my co-host Annie. Our co-host Kennedy is actually out today, so it's going to be us two. And
Love it.
it's good to have you. How are you?
I'm good. I love Boston. It was actually one of the last places I was before the lockdown. So fond memories.
Good.
Yeah. But I'm good. I'm just home.
Are you
Super boring.
holed up in Nashville? Is that where you are?
Yes. Yeah. We're kind of like downtown-ish Nashville. So we're just like looking over. Half of it's a ghost town and then half of it is just like bachelorette parties still. It's really trippy.
Bill?
Yeah, it's so trippy. It's so weird. We have like
for bachelorette party.
We have like these party barges that like you can like do a pedal tavern, or like it's like an old school bus that they painted, whatever. It's like they're all over, and they just blare Shania Twain 24/7, and you can hear it from our apartment. And I'm like, you're about to ruin Shania Twain for me. That says a lot. Like, pipe down.
So do you live in the Gulch area? Is that where you are in Nashville?
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people from Boston love to go for weekend trips to Nashville. They just, you see it all the time. Just headed down there for the weekend, like you said, with the guys or the girls, and just partying it up, have a good time down there.
It's a hang, I guess.
All right, let's talk about the other girl with Halsey.
Love
because, it. So I'm a little bit older than you, and I remember a song back in the day called "The Boy Is Mine" from Monica and Brandy.
Oh.
And that song is a little bit different vibe. That's the two girls kind of like going at it, like no, he's mine. Where the way you wrote this song, you're really just talking to the other girl, imagining what she's like and if she knows about you. What gave you the idea for the song? How did that come about?
I love that you noticed that, because when we were writing the song, I had the title "The Other Girl," and it was the concept of "The Boy Is Mine," or "Does He Love You," from like a country standpoint. But it was really important to me, especially in like today's world, that the two women were not against each other, because I'm just like, there's no room for that anymore. So I wanted to write it in like this angsty overall tone, so you feel the anger and you feel the like jealousy, but it's still like there's almost like a sexiness to it, where you're like, it's the mystery of like, is she better than me, like, or am I the one that has him, and like she's the one that's about it. It's like this just like story that's kind of painted around the idea of like of that idea of like, is it me or is it you, kind of thing. But yeah, it's been so much fun, because I love when people compare it to "The Boy Is Mine," because I'm like, that was the original concept of like a modern day kind of play off that.
And when Halsey comes in on her verse, you're like, wow. I mean, the two of you together, it just sounds fantastic. I don't know who came up with that idea, but I hope there's more with the two of you.
We've had so much fun. We did obviously this song, and then we did a Crossroads together where we did 9 songs, and just like sang on each other's stuff and covered Fleetwood Mac. And she's such a tone singer. Like she cares so much about the way her voice is presented, rather than like making sure that she can hit all the high notes. And that's how I am too. And so I think we just have learned our voices so well, that we're able to kind of like play around each other's. And I think she's just, I just love her so much. Yeah.
Kelsey, diving into that Crossroads, so I watched it. Those are like my favorite performances to watch, just because you can see the way you two interact and how much love and respect you have for one another. And when you're performing Homecoming Queen, which is my absolute favorite song of yours, it makes me cry every time I listen to it. And Halsey said, if there was one song that I wish I wrote, it's Homecoming Queen. And I want to know if there's any song out there that you feel that passionate about, like, oh, I wish I wrote that song, or I wish I came up with that idea.
Of hers, it would be Colors, which is why we did it on Crossroads, because I was like, this is my favorite. In general, it would be Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's that song is just like, it just captures this like nostalgic warmth. I don't know, and maybe it's because I just fell in love with that movie when I was younger, and now when I hear it, I'm like brought back to my childhood or something. But there's just something about that song where it's different for everyone, but everyone loves it. So that would be my other one, I think. But thanks for saying that about Homecoming Queen. That really makes me so happy.
I love Homecoming Queen. I love it.
Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks.
Is it true that you and Halsey bonded over some karaoke? And if that is true, I have to know, what is your go-to karaoke track? What does Kelsea Ballerini rip out on karaoke?
Oh, God. Well, my theory is if you're a singer and you do karaoke, you can't go there and like show off. That's like opposite of the point of karaoke. So you have to sing a song that you can't sing. So when I do it, I sing Since You've Been Gone, because the only person that can sing that right is Kelly Clarkson. So that's always my go-to. But that night that we hung out, we did Fleetwood, and we did I put your picture away, sat down and cried today.
Did Rock and Sheryl Crow?
We totally did. Just like a little bit drunk, and yeah, and it was so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, how about you and your husband, Morgan? Have you guys taken up any new couples activities during the pandemic? My wife and I have taken up tennis. So I'm kind of curious, like, what have you two taken up together during all of this?
He has taken up pickleball. I have not.
I thought that was for older people.
Well, that checks out. He's like, we're old now. We don't know what to do with our lives anymore without touring. So we turn into old people. I cook all the time, which is also an old sport. So that's what we're doing. Pickleball and cooking.
I feel like a lot of people's new activity during quarantine has been drinking. When quarantine started, so I've always been a beer girl. Karson knows this. And I started drinking wine out of nowhere. I just was like, sure, let me start picking up this habit. This is a great idea. And going to your song, Hole in the Bottle, of course, it's like the perfect drinking song. And I want to know, have you ever had, maybe a bottle too many and written a song, and you wake up in the morning and you're like, huh? Like, where did I come up with that idea?
Hole in the Bottle was completely that song. I was done with my album, and we were on a writing retreat in Florida, and we had written like 6 songs, and we were going to dinner to celebrate just being done, and had so much wine, and got back to the house, and Jesse, the producer, was playing a bunch of tracks that he just loved that we didn't get around to writing, and he played the track for Hole in the Bottle. And Hillary Lindsay, who wrote like Jesus Take the Wheel and A Million Reasons, just like a songwriting god, she was like spilling her wine, and she was like, there's a hole in the bottle. And we were all just drunk enough to be like, let's just write it. Who cares? And then the next morning we listened to it. We're like, wait, let's think this up. This is a cool drinking song. And so that one was the one where I was like, the process, man, it's a little blurry.
All right. Talking about songwriters, Annie and I were just talking before you popped on about the new Taylor Swift album that dropped at midnight last night, and just kind of going through song by song and talking about what we liked and what we loved and what we didn't like. And I'm just curious, did you have a chance to listen to it yet, or if you have any thoughts?
Here's the thing. I am so protective of what I say about anything about her art, because I'm such a super fan, and I've only given it like a quick listen this morning while having coffee. So I really need to give it the listen it deserves before I talk about it, to be really honest.
No, I get it. I listened to the whole thing twice this morning, once in the shower and then just once around the house. And she is just, I think it's such a great space that she's in right now. This album to me is so good. And it's such a contrast from the last album. And I love the last album. Like, You Need to Calm Down to me is just such a pop anthem for the time that we were in.
Yeah.
For her to come in and listening to that album this morning, I kind of forgot of what's going on in the world. And that was like a nice respite listening to that.
And it shows her artistry and her strength of songwriting to be able to just swing the pendulum back and forth on different genres and different collaborators, and it still holds up. It's crazy. Not a lot of people could do that.
Did you send her a text to say anything?
I texted her yesterday, and I was like, all right, am I red wining? Am I Manhattaning? What am I tequila shooting? Like, where are you going? She was like, red wine, buckle up.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, we really appreciate you taking a little bit of time to come on with us this morning. And I want to ask you, because this is the thing the fans are always asking, what about the tour? Do you have any idea of what's going to be happening for you getting back out on the road?
It's hard to say. I mean, I had the biggest tour of my career planned for the fall, and obviously it is not happening. So what I care about is playing music for people. And so the second I can, I don't care if it's 50 people, I will do it. I just want to make sure I'm doing it safely. So as soon as someone green lights that and that's all good to go, I'll do it. But I just don't know when it's going to be yet.
Right. All right. Well, thanks so much again, Kelsey. And we'll see you when you get back to Boston.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for hanging.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye, guys.
Bye.